I'd like to explain the process by which we come from stick and go to black and then back again. I think it's important to understand the qualities of the stick as opposed to the qualities of the black. A stick is a finite object. It's angular, it's organic, it has a certain protrusive quality and an implied abrasive texture as well as a certain color. The black, on the other hand, it has more of a sense of volume. When you say black, you think of something open and boundless. The space is a more expansive and less finite way of looking at things. As we go from stick to black and back to stick, it is important to keep these ideas in mind, the stick and then this open black and then back to the stick. Also, it might be helpful to look at these schemas that I've drawn over here, because then we can get the sense of the total shape of the words, the way the words develop. You'll see. Okay, let's just go over it one time. Stick. Stick, trick, thick, think, drink, drank, prank, crank, crack, clack, black, bloke, break, crate, crane, crank, drank, drink, think, thick, trick, stick. Stick, trick, thick, think, drink, drank, prank, crank, crack, clack, black, bloke, break, crate, crane, crank, drank, drink, think, thick, trick, stick. All right. Stick, hick, thick, think, thank, trank, hank, thank, black, bloke, crate, crank, crack, thick, flank, thick, lip, flat, flat, flip, black, black, flag, clap, black, lip, flack, black, black, fleck, black, bloke, flack, flack, black, fleck, bloke, fleck, flack, fleck, bloke, fro, flack, flip, flap, flick, hick, dack, thank, thick, flack, tick, thick, nick, flick, hop, flip, crate, bloat, hope, loat, note, doke, cloak, thack, thick, black, stick. Upside down, right side up, 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 upside down, upside down, right side up, 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 upside down, right side up,
against it. And getting shaken back and forth. Like this, if I get shaken a lot. Or you can shake me up and down like this. That's it. It's good. It's pretty good aerobic exercise, actually. Mostly it feels good to stop.
This is what I have to go through to vote, because I don't want to vote by absentee ballot. I'm not an absentee citizen. Did you know that many people with disabilities cannot vote on election day? Most polling places are not accessible.
The cane is a good idea. Okay. Can't really see what...
You would think in this country, I wouldn't have to go through all of this just to vote on election day. Support voter access for all Americans. Voting. It's my right.
My name is Jessie Jane Lewis, and I live at 4372 Fleming Street, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19128. And I'd like to thank you very much for allowing me to give my testimony this way, and thank you, Susan Boyle, for setting this up. I thought it was the idea that, and I appreciate that you're doing this, the idea that you're trying to find out the processes that people want, and some ideas of how to make polling places accessible. And I think the focus was on polling places, not the voting machines. So I'll proceed. I'm kind of nervous. I'm just going to go. Goals. The goals. Number one, every polling place in the state of Pennsylvania will be accessible to people with disabilities by 2005. Number two, Pennsylvania will come into full compliance with the ADA and the recent federal election reform guidelines. Number three, voter turnout by people with disabilities will come into line with the percentages of the turnout of the able-bodied population. So here's my how-to guide for voter access. Immediately could be started the policy of no new inaccessible polling places. Next, we could eliminate the polling places that are not and never could be made accessible. And next, we could modify the ones that are readily achievable, such as one step to get in. And I do know that sometimes it's hard to find a location for a polling place, period, but we have to start somewhere. Excuse me. The short-term goals. Number one, locate the existing polling places that can be made accessible. So get a committee or an evaluator group who can go into the neighborhoods and see which polling places are accessible, which are not, and in some polling places we can provide some locations with rent mobile units. Number two, systematically eliminate those polling places which could never be made accessible. For example, those up a flight of stairs, and too narrow hallways, no curb cuts in the area, etc. Some people will still want to vote by absentee, so the absentee ballots must be redone. So redo the absentee ballots. The terminology is outdated, and people shouldn't have to apply every time. So redo the procedures for the absentee ballot application process. And number four, meet the candidate nights. All those times, because I want to meet who's running, and I want to show up to and meet those people without calling ahead. So all those should be held in accessible locations. So don't have them upstairs in the local firehouse. we have to come up with a plan to achieve full compliance. We have to send the evaluators to each polling place. We have to train the evaluators about access. And we have to train the poll workers themselves about access. We could set up a demonstrator model. Excuse me. I think you have to turn off for a minute. We have to form a step. We have to form a step-by-step plan to achieve full compliance. We have to send the evaluators to each polling place, and we have to train them about access. We have to create a checklist to do this. And in the checklist, it shouldn't be just a yes or no, but what is specifics of voting access? Are there curb cuts in the street? Is the doorway wide enough? Is there a hallway and a hallway turn that's too narrow? These are all worth considering, and in the training sessions with the evaluators, these can be dealt with. We should also have training programs for people who are operating the polls. Initially, we could have a demonstrator model of a fully accessible polling place in order we could invite the evaluators and the poll workers to come and see. Other ideas. The disabled individual could be afforded the opportunity to go to an accessible polling place in a nearby neighborhood, even if it's further away. Let the disabled person decide if they're willing to do that, and they may be willing to do that. Publish a list of all accessible places so that people will know they can vote there, or do they have to go in another location. Next, ask people in the 811 housing, where do they go to vote? And if the neighborhood polling place is not accessible, could we allow voting in the housing facility? And what is the local election board's stated policy on accessible polling places? Do they have a policy? If they don't have one, require them to get one. And voter registration form, that should be redone as well. Okay, I have a few other ideas. Curbside voting. I like curbside voting. I like that idea, but I don't want to apply in advance. I want my vote to be counted along with everyone else's. So I want to be watch the election returns that night, and I want to know that my vote is in there with everyone else's. Absentee ballots, not good for us. They're unfair, they're demeaning, and they're discriminatory. And they remind many of us that of the literacy test in use in the South in the 50s. I know this is not an intentional discriminatory process, but it's a way of denying the vote to people with disabilities. They're not secret, they're not independent. The state's election codes state repeatedly that we have the right to a secret and independent vote. So, absentee ballots don't cut it. They're unfair, they're demeaning, they're discriminatory. They remind many of us of the literacy tests in use in the South in the 50s. It's not fair, and it's not intended, but it's a way of denying the vote to people with disabilities. Absentee ballots, furthermore, have the highest potential for fraud and abuse, as many election people know. Absentee ballots are also not secret, and they're not independent. And the election codes, I've read the election codes, and the election codes of the state say over and over that a person has the right to a secret and independent vote. And the only way that I guess the most important thing is that the only way we're going to be able to get, Bruce, will you not stand right there? Because I see you every movement that you're making. You're right.
Okay, can I make an observation?
Yes.
Say that absentee ballots are not, they're discriminatory. They read that spot right there. That
Absentee ballots don't cut it. They're unfair, they're demeaning, they're discriminatory.
well, you say, if you say that vote, you want your vote to count. It does count. I mean, it officially does count.
At the same time.
Yeah, you want it to be.
At the same time. Good.
I mean, because it does count. It is a vote.
On election night.
It is a vote. And when you say, it's discriminatory, it doesn't, for a fair and secret ballot, well, it's not inherently a not secret ballot. It's only not secret when there's fraud, like other people filling it out for the person.
But
if you fill that absentee ballot, what's not secret about that?
If a person with a disability, a person who's blind needs someone to fill it out for.
Right.
If I can't, it takes many more times to, like, I have to purchase stamps, I have to apply, too many steps.
Okay, I think you need to make clear what's not fair about it. That's all. It's not briefly what's not fair about it. Not that it's discriminatory and it's not a secret ballot.
Mm-hmm.
You just kind of need to make clear what's not right about it. In brief.
Too many steps. All right, I'll try to do that. Too many steps. Okay, it's not secret. Sometimes a person needs help. Oh yeah. Okay, so blind people need help. It's not independent.
Be much preferable just to go there and do it
Right.
than have to go through all
Right.
the
Too many steps. Thank you. Much preferable. You're an ally. Okay. And okay.
particular issues.
I think you did. Too many steps. There are too many steps to the absentee ballots, and it's more preferable just to go there, just to show up at the polling place and vote like my neighbors. The only way. Oh yes, and this is the most important part. It's that the only way we're gonna get. It's the only way we're gonna get. It's the only way we're gonna get health care, the same kinds of jobs, the education, access to restaurants and museums and entertainment and art and seeing art, and it's the only way we're going to get those things is if we're able to vote, because it's how we have force in the world, and I don't think anyone on the election committee believes that we shouldn't be allowed to vote in great numbers, and that's what this is about. Is like having as many people possible to vote, and that's what I'm here for. And an election, I'm seeing here the election boards, they should make it their business to enfranchise as many people as possible, and people with disabilities are in that mix too. I guess we want the same options every other minority wants. And all polling places should be accessible. All polling places. We have to redo this part a little bit. Oh yeah. And this is the most important part. The only way that we're going to get education, we're going to get health care, we're going to get jobs, we're going to get the ear of legislators is to vote. And we have a right to vote, and we have the right to vote in all the ways that the able-bodied population has to vote. And all polling places should be accessible, period. If you build it, they will come. Thank you very much. Okay.
Okay.
Probably okay.
Probably okay.